The Dean Smith Carolina Basketball Show is brought to you by First Union, Sprint Cellular, Granville Towers, Nationwide Insurance, J.C. Bradford & Company, Food Lion, Gatorade, Fisherman's Friend, and by the Campbell Soup Company.
Hello again, everybody. What a busy week for North Carolina. 6 days, 3 great wins, Coach. It started last Sunday against Wake Forest.
Hey, you know, it was a great week. This is Wake Forest, Duke, and State. That's the Big Four, like the old Big Four tournament.
Right.
But we had 2 of them at home, 1 on the road, and I was very happy with our play. Certainly, we're sorry Donald Williams isn't back yet, and we hope he'll be back against Maryland. But overall, I thought our guys really competed hard all week, and I'm very pleased with them.
They had to compete hard against this schedule. Carolina Wake Forest at Chapel Hill last Sunday. The Smith Center last Sunday, North Carolina Wake Forest, and Carolina basketball highlights brought to you by Gatorade. And Coach, I thought this was just a very impressive game.
Well, I was concerned anyway. Wake Forest has been such a very good road team, and we started out well. Look at that pass from Brian Reese into Eric Montra. People talking about his athletic ability. Look at that. Right. He went across the lane in 1 bounce, and now look at this athletic ability of Brian Reese. We did post him up against a smaller defender at 6'3", but he could do that against big guys, too. There, Brian again getting another assist. We really went inside in this game, and Wake is very physical inside. But yet, Rashid makes a quick move. He does that extremely well. And good. Jerry Stackhouse on a drive out of the offense, what we like. There again, Brian Reese gets it into Kevin Salvadori, and Kevin and Eric knew what to do with it, and Rashid when they got it. Brian on a good move, very good move, incidentally, inside. Brian's really playing so much better. As soon as that knee gets perfectly well, we'll see the real Brian Reese. Watch this move. And then he gives it to his buddy, Derek Phelps. Derek's played so well, as we've talked about this week. There, Jerry Stackhouse can pass the ball. You saw him get it inside to Kevin Salvadori. You can see we're definitely going inside, pretty left hook. And they're still jamming up inside. Brian gets it to Eric. Somehow he gets it in. Nice three-point play. Jeff McInnes knocking in the 3. I think he's had 1 in each of the 3 games this week. Now that one we call a half a turnover, but Brian gets 2 points out of it. A half meaning it should have been a turnover and wasn't. Dante even looked at the seams on that one before he shot it. He tried to shoot one against State yesterday after getting low.
40-28 at halftime, Coach, and Carolina wouldn't make but 5 turnovers the whole game.
Well, that was remarkable considering Wake's very fine defense. We started off great pass, Derek to Eric. Dante Calabria knocking in another assist by Derek Phelps. Brian Reese gets this assist. We had so many assists and getting it inside. They can't expect us to make all those, but we almost did in this game. Jerry Stackhouse learning to move without the basketball. Good pass from Dante. These are all offensive highlights. They're good ones. Look at that feed from Derek to Eric. And we like that. We challenged Childers pretty much. We finally put Derek on him, trying to slow him down. Great pass from Dante. And a nice breakaway. Nice pass from Jeff McInnes out of what we call our semi-delay. Just a tremendous pass to Eric. Now, Larry Davis still trying. That should have been goaltending. Yeah, it was. Larry Davis, after his great performance against Butler. Jeff got fouled. Let's see, but who comes up with it? Pierce Landry. Really an excellent play.
85-61, North Carolina. Big ACC home win over Wake Forest. Coach Wake Forest, Coach Dave Odom, said it's been a long time since he'd seen such offensive execution.
You know, I was really pleased the way we handled the ball there, and we scored once we got the ball inside. That wasn't the case the other 2 games, but I think Wake's a contender, certainly for the NCAA tournament.
Next up for the Tar Heels, the game against Duke, and we'll look at that after these messages. North Carolina and Duke to end the regular season of the first half in the ACC, Coach, and so much interest in the game.
There was because of the ranking, but Duke and Carolina were picked in the top 5 preseason, and we were picked 1. I guess Duke was like 3 or 4, and I think Duke was even better, and I thought they deserved their #1 ranking, and the way they played the first half, I was really impressed. They looked so much quicker than we did. They went boom, boom right by us, and were able to make shots. They didn't make as many in the second half, but that team will be heard from. I hope we'll be heard from, and who knows what's ahead.
So many good plays in the basketball game, and North Carolina's second half was magnificent. We'll look at the highlights now. Thursday night at the Smith Center, North Carolina against Duke. Duke ranked #1 and Carolina #2, which created an awful lot of interest beyond what it usually is, Coach.
And our crowd was unbelievable. The noise, the level was outstanding. Grant Hill falls down, but Brian, I think, would have scored anyway. He was ready for that. Good pass from Derek. Dante Calabria, he decided to take Chris Collins. There's Larry Bird and John Kuster, the Boston Celtic group. All right, great switch by Dante and an excellent play. I mean, you know, Cherry P. Parks was chasing him. Now, you get it in that low, chances are good Eric will score. Dante did it. Derek, nice jumper.
16-14 Carolina early.
And, you know, we missed some early, but they were just great in the first half. Fortunately, Dante got that one, but we couldn't stop Duke that first half. Excellent pass. You know, I really like Jeff McInnes is really getting better and better, getting into Eric. Watch this jumper. And pretty screen by Brian Reese. Derek could have gone to Dante, but I like that. Look at Jerry Stackhouse to Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed likes those dunks. He likes the blocks. I like those too. I'm going to tell him. I want him to smile on that one too, because that's as pretty as a dunk to me. Counts too. They're pretty play. I don't know what defense there was, but Jeff McInnes has a way to get around. Brian Reese to Derek Phelps for 3. You're showing our highlights. We're down 2.
We're down 2 at half, and Duke played well.
They really did. I was so impressed with the way they played. Excellent start there. Good pass. Line misses Kevin Salvador. Now we need a quicker outlet. There he finds one. I guess it's quick enough. Coming down. Maybe that's what he wanted. A secondary break jump shot. Look at that pass. And Dante Calabria really set it up. We really are sharp here at the beginning of the half. There's a nice screen by Dante, and Derek hits Eric. But we're really doing, there's another Kevin Salvador jump shot from the foul line. He can make that, and so can all of them. Eric can make that. There's a good double team. Jerry Stackhouse pitching ahead to Derek Phelps, and we did do more scrambling, and then Dante had that block and said, I'll pass it out to Jeff, and Jeff got 3. They took a timeout. We're going great then, and it wasn't over. I like this play. Watch this pass to Montrose from Derek. Nice bounce pass from Jerry to Derek. And then, ooh, I don't like this one, but we got 2 anyway. Easy 2-on-1, but we made it. She was emotional, but so was Ed Geth on the bench. And what a nice pass there, Jeff McInnes to Jerry Stackhouse. Actually, we saw Rasheed jumping up just as much on the bench. Nice steal. That was a big play, as was, I'm sure, later you'll see this. Watch this. That's the one, the steal. They seemingly had it, but Derek came up with it to Jerry Stackhouse. I love that one. There, of course, great pass.
Great win for North Carolina at the Smith Center over Duke. Carolina 89, Duke 78. Coach, that was a great second half for you.
It really was. Defensively, we were very active, and Derek Phelps did so much. Eric Montross means so much to this team, as we know. He boxed out, but it was very much a team victory that I think we can forget about. That was at home. We still have to go to Duke, and we have a lot of games left.
We're going to come back and show you North Carolina's tremendous road win at NC State right after this from First Union. Carolina at NC State. Coach, were you concerned about a letdown?
Well, I was, but I don't think we had that. I think it was more NC State being ready. NC State isn't as talented as the other 8 teams in the league. But still, when they listened to Coach Robinson and control tempo that way and shoot tough shots, and they were very aggressive in their zone, they made it very difficult. That's the beauty of college basketball. You see those kind of upsets. We could have been beaten very easily, but our players somehow found a way to win.
Great win for Carolina. We'll take a look at the highlights. Reynolds Coliseum, NC State certainly had a capacity crowd on hand for this one, Coach, and a loud crowd.
There's Eric's grandfather in a blue coat there, Mr. Montross. What a nice pass for Eric to start. And Brian Reese should have had a three-point play. They had a double violation. Brian comes back. See how well, I can't talk, but watch some of that, the push. It's just amazing. Great pass, Derek Phelps to Eric inside. I'm glad we have the close-ups. David Daly does a great job here with the camera. There's Jeff McInnes for three. And we're sharp in the first half offensively, I think. Brian Reese, watch him get around Eric. Eric didn't mean to screen, but he did. And we're sharp, and some of the things we do there, that leads to a fast break that we botch, but watch how somehow Dante keeps it alive, gets it back to an open Jeff McInnes. Jeff quickly thanks him. Watch this. There's Derek Phelps at work. And as much as he's been hit, he goes right on in for the layup. Does a great job on the ball. The Marshall. There's a nice screen by Salvadori, passed by Jeff McInnes to Jerry Stackhouse. A lot of people involved in that one. Derek Phelps, first three of the game, made it.
40-36 at halftime. The crowd active and alive.
Well, we should have let him back, but the state people deserved it. I like the way Brian took it to the basket there. They were in foul trouble at the beginning of the second half, and we overdid it. Going inside, throwing the lobs. Nice play, Jerry Stackhouse. Watch Jerry now. Finds the opening. Real short, nice pull-up jump shots. Actually, Derek, I think, deflected that. Jerry had a nice pass ahead to Derek Phelps.
You're down two right here, Coach.
Well, here's one that ties it. Good pass by Derek Phelps. And then Dante, nice go ahead then, right?
57-55 Carolina.
And then Dante gets another one in the lane. As they say, a runner in the lane.
60-55.
60-55. And they come back. What a shot. We did everything we could, and Mark Davis knocked him in. This is an important basket by Derek Phelps. And
64-58, Coach.
And Jerry Stackhouse, 64-58, puts us up. And then we get this important, the clock's going down. Watch Derek Phelps. The clock's going down. To me, that really iced it right there. We're up, how much?
11 at that point.
And then we're in our semi-delay, and Jerry moves very well to the goal. And we win.
Good win for the Tar Heels. On the road, ACC win over NC State 77-64. Carolina basketball highlights brought to you by Gatorade. North Carolina's overall record, 19-3, 7-2 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. We'll come back and meet Tar Heel Ed Geth after this from First Union.
I'm pleased you'll have a chance to hear from Ed Geth, a member of our team who is a redshirt sophomore. He played last year, and we really think it's a good choice because he wants to go to graduate school. He's an excellent student. As far as basketball goes, he needs to improve stamina, but we think he has tremendous potential. Let's hear what Ed has to say.
And it's brought to you by S&K Menswear, America's finest menswear value.
It was tough in the beginning. It was very tough because, you know, I like playing, you know, and it's hard to stop a player that likes playing so much to just sit there and watch a game when he knows he can play the game. So it was tough at first.
But Ed Geth has adjusted to his redshirt status and is working harder than ever, not only for his own good, but for the team's as well.
I think all of us, as far as bench players and red shirts, I think our job is to inspire the other players and to prepare them for teams in the future, as well as get better ourselves.
Better on and off the court, Ed is considering grad school or a double major with his extra year, along with improving his stamina, defense, and rebounding. Playing against teammates such as Eric Montross and Rasheed Wallace in practice have helped him with these improvements.
It definitely betters your game And then Eric is so strong, you know, you got to, you know, muscle against him. And then Rashid's a good shot blocker, and you got to learn how to create shots against him. So, you know, it definitely, you know, it's helped tone my game.
And someone else who has helped his game is fellow redshirt Pat Sullivan.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody alongside me. You know, it would probably been a longer recovery if he wasn't there. You know, it's been a lot easier to deal with since he's been there, and we work out together a lot, and we laugh and we joke.
But no joke, Ed Geth is where he wants to be. Having started organized basketball in only the 9th grade, this sophomore understands the importance of having an extra year of eligibility.
As I, you know, see myself improving and look toward the future and see the potential the team has and myself, I kind of realized it was the right decision.
Our player feature brought to you by S&K Menswear, America's finest menswear value. Former Tar Heel Curtis Hunter, now coaching at Chapel Hill High School, Coach.
You know, it really worked out great. You know, Curtis had graduated in '87, played in Australia, and he really had come back and been a very good coach for the science and math girls team. And then he was helping us in the office, and boom, this job came open, and he's just going to do a tremendous job at Chapel Hill High School, and I'm pleased you had a chance to visit with him.
And our visit with Curtis Hunter brought to you by Fisherman's Friend Cough Lozenges. They work, they have to.
Carolina just so happened to meet all the requirements that I wanted out of a school. And also, my mother was always comparing every school I went to Carolina. And with that, I couldn't go wrong.
And Curtis Hunter did not go wrong. After a successful playing career at Carolina, Hunter is now continuing that Tar Heel experience right down the street from his college basketball roots. As head varsity coach of Chapel Hill High School, Curtis is instilling the same qualities he learned at Carolina to his high school team.
The fundamentals of the game of basketball is what I learned at Carolina. That's what I try to put here. I keep the game as simple as I possibly can and just show these guys how to play and then add those fundamental things to them.
And the fundamentals for Curtis Hunter are simple. He loves being around kids, and he admits he's still learning the game of basketball. In fact, if he runs into a problem with the team or the game, Curtis knows who to call, Coach Dean Smith.
But even now, I mean, I'm here. I go talk to, I call him as much as I can. As soon as I get I have a problem, I run to over here. I call Coach Smith, and you know, because I know that he can possibly help me in some way or another, either just for the advice or either the wisdom. So I mean, I'm on a constant basis. I still call over there and talk to him.
And that wisdom has rubbed off on Curtis Hunter. He sees the game as just that, a game, and he teaches that to his players.
That basketball's going to be with you for a little while. I don't care how long you try to use it, but use it to the best of your ability, but learn something from it also.
And what Curtis learned at Carolina has stayed with him throughout his life. He still remembers a game against Marquette, Carolina down by 6 points, 30 seconds left to play, an inspirational Tar Heel victory that stays with him to this day.
Coach Smith we came to the bench, he said, we're right where we want to be, but we're behind by 6. And everybody just looked at each other and said, what? And we ended up winning that game. And so that's the same type thing I try to tell my guys. It doesn't matter what the situation in the game. It's always a chance there. If you believe, then it's there. And that's something, he let me know that he believed in what we could do on the floor. And it showed. And we came back and we showed that we won the game.
And that positive outlook on life is evident in Curtis Hunter. His high school team is struggling to put it all together on the court. But Coach Hunter has already taught them what real winning is all about.
You can always be a winner, no matter if you lose or you win. You can still be a winner. And my guys are winners. We've been losing. Like I said, we're 5-9. But to me, they're winners because we've come out and we competed every night. And we're there, and we put ourselves in situations to win. And now, if we start putting the ball in the basket, then it's going to make us a lot better.
Our visit with Curtis Hunter, brought to you by Fisherman Friends Cough Lozenges. They work, they have to. North Carolina back in the ACC. Maryland and Georgia Tech. We'll talk about it after this from First Union. North Carolina at home Thursday night against Maryland and then Georgia Tech.
My gosh, Maryland, you know, they've just come off 2 losses, and we barely beat them at College Park. And the other thing, we're ranked, and that really means nothing. There's so much parity in college basketball. We could have 30 teams could win the national, but yet I think our players will respond. We play Georgia Tech, get a chance to play better than we did in Atlanta on Saturday.
Good luck on a tough week, Coach.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for watching, and thanks for your interest in Carolina basketball.
The Dean Smith Carolina Basketball Show is brought to you by First Union, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, Coca-Cola and your local Coca-Cola bottlers, the Carolina Dodge dealers, Goodies headache powders and pain relief tablets, by S&K Menswear, Food Lion, Gatorade, and by Fisherman's Friend. This has been a production of Tar Heel Sports Marketing, a division of the Village Companies of Chapel Hill.